I started my company in 2019 with the aim to sell budget gaming PC to the masses, but it failed. So in 2020, when I had the chance to take a gap year, I decided to give my company a try. This time, selling refurbished computer hardware. It worked, and it's running till today. Hi everyone, I'm Andrew, and today I'll be sharing how I built a 300,000 ringgit business during my gap year and 6 tips for aspiring entrepreneur. The thought of having my own company started when I learned about entrepreneurship. And one of the things that inspired me in entrepreneurship is actually The Social Network, the movie. It's actually quite cool seeing how Mark Zuckerberg just started this Facebook empire. But yes, so in 2017, I actually got 2 of my friends and we tried to start an Indiegogo campaign selling a wardrobe product. But in the end, we didn't proceed with that because we found it unfeasible. And after I joined university, I joined the Youth Entrepreneur Society and a few entrepreneurship related events as well. And in 2018, I had the opportunity to become the vice president of the club. And after having this opportunity, I was able to get exposed to more entrepreneurship related knowledge and personnel. And finally, in 2019 summer break, I decided to start my own company. I wanted to start with something that I'm familiar with, so I started in the PC industry. Therefore, I got my friend Vaughn, and then we started selling budget gaming PC to the masses. We had our business model canvas, our business plan, and our pitch deck prepared, and we even met up with an entrepreneur which I admired to ask for some advice. We then implemented all the digital marketing tactics because we're actually selling it online. We created useful content consistently. We make sure that there's engagement for our posts. We got our friends to help us shout out, but it just didn't work out. We put ads and all that stuff, and we never sold anything for 1 month. So at that point, we know that there's something wrong and we had to pivot. Therefore, we changed our whole business to buying actually PC parts from our customers and then reselling them after we recondition them. And after changing to this, it actually we actually brought back some money, but we still ended up stopping it right before we get back for our next semester because first, it took too much time and effort, and second, it's not fully sustainable. So, in 2020, after 4 months in dormant, I decided to actually buy back shares from my business partner Vaughn because I'm planning to shut it down. But then, one unexpected thing happened. COVID. So, by March, all of us have to stay at home and we weren't able to get out until around May, where the restrictions are loosened. And by that time, originally I'm planning to go UK to further my study in September, but the thing is, around May, cases in UK spiked, and it gave me the perfect reason to take a gap year because I just didn't want to spend my whole year going to UK studying from my dorm. Therefore, I took the gap year, and I decided to spend the 1 year actually working out on some valuable things, something that will add value to me. Therefore, I decided to continue with my business. So since I know that the business plan which I previously used isn't sustainable, I had to make some changes to it. So now, instead of me going out and just purchase all the PC parts and then refurbish them and sell them, which is actually a very long process, I will now find a supplier to do that for me. And off I go. I went up to Google, search up all the companies I have, email them, call them. And yes, I found one e-waste recycling company which kindly would like to work with me at a profit sharing basis. It was amazing. So how does it work? Very simple. Every week I'll head to their place, get their stocks, and we'll refurbish them and then sell them, and the money made from each sale would then be profit share between my company and the recycling center. So it's been a full year doing that, and I started from just having myself working on it and spending around 3-4 days refurbishing, reconditioning it, to now like having another additional employee, and then like the whole process of refurbishing just take around 1.5 days. And by the end of last month, I gathered a total of 300,000 ringgit of revenue. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like a totally amazing journey, which it really added value onto my 2020 gap year. Alright, that's basically my entrepreneurship journey in a nutshell. If you're interested in a detailed story, maybe leave a comment below. Tell me and I'll probably make a full video about it. But now, let's jump straight into 6 tips for aspiring entrepreneur. There's 2 kinds of idea in this world. First is a painkiller and second is a vitamin. So the painkiller business is actually a business that solves real world problem. And a vitamin business is just a business that's good to have. And most people would like to have a vitamin idea or vitamin business because it's cool to have one, but usually it's not guaranteed to work. But if you start a painkiller business, it solves a real world problem, therefore it naturally comes with demand, and that makes it more likely to work out. My original business of actually selling a budget gaming PC is just a vitamin business because gaming PC is a want, it's not a need, and making them cheaper just make people that want it easier access to it. So it doesn't really solve the problem. And when people are ideating, like when you're thinking of ideas for a new startup, you're not supposed to think of ideas. It's better to think of problems that everyone is facing. And then you find a business idea to solve that problem. Us humans are limited, and no matter how smart we are, we won't have every single knowledge in the world. So when you start out a company, you should find a team of diverse talents instead of just starting out the company with your friends. What you can do is you can reach out beyond your social circle to find people that actually have the talent you want and have the same vision with you. And how do you do that? Very easy. You can go through like entrepreneurship event, networking events and all this. And the reason you do this is because starting out with good friends doesn't necessarily mean that they complement the knowledge gap that you have. But when you have a team of diverse talents, they fill out all the gaps, knowledge gaps which you don't have. And that's what a company really needs. You don't need a good friendship to start a company. You need a knowledgeable bunch of people with the same vision to start a company. And I did the same thing as well. For me, I started out with Kuan because he has a lot of marketing knowledge and I have the PC technical knowledge. That's why I think that he will help me on the marketing side, social media side, which I don't need to focus on, and I'll just focusing on making good PCs. It's normal to have insufficient knowledge when you start out, especially if you're a first-time entrepreneur. That's why we should actually just ask and learn from others. Many people think that they are actually bothering others when they're asking questions, or CEO and founders just won't care to mentor them. But it's actually not the case if you're just genuine and you really care about learning. Because all these startup founders, they started out the same way. They know that the process is tough and they know that if someone were to help them at that moment, it will make their life easier. Therefore, they will do the same to you. Just make sure that you're genuine about what you're trying to learn, and then you are actually serious about learning and starting out. Just now I talked about getting the right talents and then learning from mentors. But you should actually set a time limit for that. And if the time limit is reached, you should just go ahead and start your company even though you're not fully prepared. Why? Because starting out is the hardest thing for everyone, and if it takes too long for you to start it out, you might end up not starting at all. And yes, setting a time limit should allow you enough time to build a foundation and then build the rest along the way. And being an entrepreneur is all about doing things and then actively learning and improve yourself all the time. When you're starting out on a new company, money and equity shouldn't be the focus, but instead, you should focus on getting more experience. Many people focus too much on getting more money or fighting for equity when their company isn't even ready. And the thing is, if it's your first few startup, it's very likely that it will fail as well. And when it's failed, what does the money and equity means? So yes, it's better for you to just spend those money to experiment on things and give out some equity to people when they're joining your team. At the end of the day, the experience actually follow you throughout your whole life, but money and equity doesn't. Finally, you learn the most through joining events and failing. When you have a startup business, you should go and join all kinds of startup bootcamp accelerators as you gain a lot of insights from all the teams, mentors, and judges. And like what I said, your first few startup is very likely to fail. It's fine. Learn from it, understand your missteps, and try to avoid them in the future. These experiences is actually something that you should appreciate because they are exclusive to you. Not everyone fails the same way. Therefore, you should actually remember them. And startup failing is very, very normal because all the news agencies just care about reporting all the successful startups. They don't really tell you how many thousands of startups fail when this one single startup succeeds. And when you fail many times, it means that you have actually experimented many times. And this increases the likelihood for you to succeed in the future. If you like this video, do like, share and subscribe. And maybe consider checking out my previous video where I talk about my gap year experience in Malaysia and whether you should actually take a gap year. Or maybe you can check out the Incongruous channel, which is actually a podcast channel created by me and my girlfriend Verene, where we discuss about incongruous thoughts in our daily life. Thanks everyone for watching, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.